goes live on the right channel. I think I changed the stream key. Pretty sure I did. Alright, we are good.
Howdy.
Welcome everyone who is here before the ping goes off. We're gonna do an actual intro once the stream ping goes off.
This looks like an Elvis map.
I cannot tell. Elvis. I cannot tell who's mapped this, but it does kind of look like an Elvis map, just with how it's done. Although Elvis doesn't really map like stuff that is this BPM. At least I don't know him to map stuff like this.
Maybe it's like Gilstar, or someone like that.
Maybe. It's Raihada or Raihodo. I have no idea who this is.
I don't know that name by memory at least either.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, welcome everyone to Hippo Cup round of semifinals in the losers bracket between OSU TrueSkill and Greg. I am Dio. Woey is also commentating this match.
Hey.
And Woey will be doing all of the map pool analysis for you today, while I deal with looking at the players and the rosters.
This map is a map.
Yeah, this map is definitely a map. As for the actual players, feel like this matchup is kind of funny because there are good Hard Rock players on OSU TrueSkill, but their actual lineup favors hidden a lot more. Like Ryonata Ataraxia, for instance, are just kind of crazy gimmick hidden players. Also, not sure which of these teams outscale because they're both D-ranker teams, so both of them have like not that great of scaling. I feel like Saika, Couch, and Minus are all pretty good on late round, I feel like, but Vesper, sorry, Kirochi, I don't think scale well despite having a higher rank than the other players on their team. And OSU TrueSkill definitely does not scale super well because a lot of them don't have as high ranks as some of the other players. Zazriad in particular I think will do very well. He's done very, very well on open rank pools in general. But I don't know if the rest of them will do so well on a pool that is grand finals level for most tournaments. Anyway, they team failed, so.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a good side. With my own practicing of the map pool this week, I have seen a lot of interesting single player scores from Sawada. So even though I don't know Sawada to be an all-rounder, I think he may shine on some of the maps that he does play.
Sawada is a speed player, and he will only ever go in for speed maps. So
he might go in for Hard Rock.
Really, that's news to me. But if he does go in for Hard Rock, I'd be interested to see how he does. I haven't seen him do well on speed in tournament before.
Sorry.
I just haven't seen him do well on speed in tournament before.
Okay.
Or on Hard Rock in tournament before. I've only seen him do well on speed before in tournament, but. If you've been practicing...
The map I might be thinking of is 300 BPM, so that would add up.
Oh, yeah, that would work. That would definitely work. Is there 300 BPM in this pool, by the way?
There is.
There is? Okay, yeah, free mod 3. Interesting stuff. There's also 293 BPM in DT1, apparently. That'll be fun. That'll be interesting.
I don't recall that map to have very many triples in it, though, so it's not speedy. It's more of just the aim test.
We have regressed to alt DT picks, apparently. That's true. There's actually a 143 BPM DT map also. We are just getting alt DT maps now.
Which one is that? Kaleidoscope?
Yeah, Kaleidoscope. Okay. It displays as 143 BPM.
Mm-hmm. So slow. What is this map doing here?
I wonder. I actually wonder. I have no idea what's in the map. That's a question I have.
I think it's typical Frostmourne, where it's very structured, and there's also a lot of like I feel like a staple of Frostmourne maps is stack notes that are like across the screen from each other. So like sets of 2 on one side of the screen and another set of 2 on the other.
It's very true. Yeah, he does tend to do that a lot, especially in most of his older maps from 2014, 2015. Aiming those, especially on higher BPM and with the, I believe, higher approach rate on that map. I have to actually check it again, but
I think it is 10.3, yes.
yeah, it is 10.3. It is an insane diff, so adds up. Yeah, aiming those with that kind of approach rate, plus I'm assuming the BPM is lying to me on the website, is going to be fairly tough for a lot of the players, I think. I also don't know if that map is really going to get picked. I don't know either of these lineups to really lean into high approach rate and double time in particular. I think, if anything, Greg might be the ones leaning into it, weirdly enough. I know...
I was thinking the same.
Yeah, like, Vesprit, for instance, is a very good speed player. Sawada, obviously, can play double time. I believe Saika and Minus are also not bad at DT either. And obviously not their main skills, but in comparison to some of the players on OSU True Skill, like, I think the only good DT players they have are Zazreed and TFGE. And I don't think that is a lineup that can really compete on double time, especially high AR double time.
Yeah, OSU True Skill has a lot of names that I've seen around, but unfortunately I wish I knew some of them better. Names like Ataraxia, I've seen a lot of scores of, but I wouldn't really be able to tell you their strengths or weaknesses.
Yeah, and Ataraxia definitely makes sense because they were still in like rank 2000 tournaments until very recently when they just decided to rank up. So there are definitely some other players like that on OSU True Skill as well. IGN, for instance, their captain is still rank 4000, hovering right around rank 5000, but was also last year's OWC captain for Team Chile. So a player who is very, very good at certain things when he does go in, particularly his hard rock skill, and especially tech hard rock, is very, very strong. We do see the Fremod 1 ban coming out from Greg as their first ban. OSU True Skill banning out Double Time 4, the map we were just talking about, and then DT2, the second ban for them. Definitely not wanting to go up on the speed maps on this map pool against Greg. Honestly, a little bit predictable. They are much better suited to a lot of the more gimmick-focused picks in this map pool than they are to anything else.
And I am so glad that compared to the last match, these bans are coming rapid fire. These teams know what they want and they're not stalling them.
Yeah, thankfully, I can sympathize. I can sympathize there.
I think a free mod 1 ban is very wise because of all the free mods, I think that one's the most FCable. So if they want to ban out some of the gimmick, I mean, there's a lot of gimmick in this pool, but I do think that if Greg doesn't have an FC in the wings for free mod 1, that it's a wise move to keep the other team from possibly popping off. What were we going to say? Sorry?
I was also just going to look at other bans. I feel like if they're banning out gimmick maps, Nomad 6 is the very obvious gimmick map choice, but not sure that that actually adds up all that well when this is a fairly fast Nomad 6. I think something like the alt map, Ame Kusare, would be a very good ban against them, or Pirates Banquet also. Either of those maps in Nomad would probably do very well for Greg as alt bans, but I think they probably do fairly well on those as well. Those might be toss-up maps. I just know that there are players on OSU True Skill who are very, very good at that skill set.
Yeah, the Nomad 6 is definitely not a typical Nomad 6 in that it's not... It is rhythmically challenging, but it's also very mechanically challenging. It's more of a gimmicky Nomad 2 than a Nomad 6, which I think is a fair choice considering this... Again, this pool has so much gimmick that the Nomad 6 doesn't really need to lean into gimmick as much, I guess.
It makes a lot of sense. Hard Rock 3, the last ban for Greg, by the way. What type of map is that? It is a remix of Phyllis, but it doesn't really tell you a lot about the map.
It's a precision stream map. There's a lot of streams in the Hard Rock 3 that either end with very uncomfortable movement or just very harsh stream jumps. So
Okay.
it's very easy to just split your combo on that map because there's hard screens all throughout.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a fairly good ban against OSU True Skill then. I can think of 3 players right off the top of my head on their team who would do very, very well on that map, and then I'm sure they have a 4th who can actually go in for it and still combo fairly well. Double Time 1 going to be the first pick for Greg. I think that pick makes a lot of sense, given the double DT bans coming out of OSU True Skill, and the fact that this map is 290 BPM and still an aim pick, not just an alt map. So
yeah,
is going to be really difficult for them to aim if they're not used to trying to aim snap jumps at this BPM.
The interesting thing about this map is that it is a 2014 map, and a lot of DT maps, or just maps in general out of that era, lean into like this sort of secretly wide angle, I guess, sort of jump style. It's not like it's not old style, but it's a kind of aim where if you don't play it a lot, it really locks you out from being able to do it.
It's like Jones and Light in every single map that was released in 2014 to 2015. Yeah, because it is like slightly awkward all the time, but if you played it a lot back then, it wasn't so awkward that it felt uncomfortable.
Exactly, it's just all that you played. It's what you were used to.
Yeah. So when players who play the much more comfortable jumps from maps that have been ranked from about 2017 to 2020 in terms of jump maps go back and play these, they feel really uncomfortable. It feels like playing a Joneson map if you grew up with, quote unquote, grew up with playing 2014 maps, essentially.
I agree. I think it would be very if Greg is attuned to what they're good at, I would expect to see DT5 very quickly in this match. Maybe not as much DT3, but DT5 absolutely. I think OSU True Skill banned very smartly.
Okay. One thing that is really interesting, I think, is that all of the hiddens are left up. Both of these teams have very, very strong hidden rosters, and I think both of them are going to save some of those picks for last because it is really, really tough to actually call who would win either of those, any of the maps in hidden. We do have the lineups ready to go, by the way. OSU True Skill fielding IGN, TFGE, Defons, and Zazarid on the DT pick versus Greg's minus Sawada, Kirochi, and Saryi. Already we see early breaks from minus Kirochi, Zazarid, Sawada, and Saryi. A full break for Greg. TFGE also missing on the side of OSU True Skill, but double S's for IGN and Defons right now.
And here comes the first chorus. Breaks from TFGE in minus.
It's good recovery from Sawada and Saryi, but Saryi breaks there. IGN finally drops the SS as well. Defons dropping the SS, but holding on to the combo. And that is still 1 FC for OSU True Skill. 2 million score in the lead. Not a lot when there's this much map left still.
I agree, this lead is not safe with Sawada building up combo as well. 2 breaks from OSU True Skill from not super high combos, but they need every bit of what they can get with a mere 2 million point lead.
Yeah, Zazarid was matching the combo from Kirochi as well, so there's nobody to really match that extra score on him. Sawada is close behind Defons, who is the only FC left in the lobby. Not even 100 combo down for Sawada from that FC. And with these consistent breaks coming out of IGN and Zazarid now, that score lead is right back over to Greg. Kirochi finally drops the high combo that was doing a lot of the work, bringing the score over, but not a lot of combos over on OSU True Skill to bring the lead back.
Wow! Breaks across the board on that burst.
Yeah, when you get 293 BPM bursts going on, it tends to break a lot of combos. It's a 4-way reset, though, for OSU True Skill, and Greg holds onto the combo with Minus and Sawada, so that is going to be the win for them, for sure. Very nicely done from them, holding on during the 293 BPM burst in the entire map. Very cool. Very cool.
Very impressive score from Sawada, not only in combo, but also in AC. I am very proud to have called him out beforehand in possibly having a standout performance.
Yeah, he not only obviously top scored, but top accuracy over 99%. Defons was not very far behind at 14 million score with
Agreed.
also a 1 miss, but did not combo as long as Sawada did, and Sawada comboing through the hardest part of the map definitely makes the score stand out far more.
A little bit of a shaky first pick for Greg, though. I mean, if even 2 of OSU True Skill players had hit that burst, the scoreline would have shrank significantly, the difference between the 2 teams. So even though I said that Greg might lean into TT very hard, they might be a little more hesitant now because that was a little close for comfort, frankly.
Yeah, it definitely was. There was a very, very good combo at the start from IGN as well, who held on quite a ways into the map. I think sort of fumbling what could have been a much better score if he had had the same consistency from the start later on into the map. And obviously, Defons had almost matched the score from Sawada as well. Hidden 3, the first pick from OSU True Skill.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Getting started.
And of the 3 hiddens that you mentioned were coin flippy, this one might be the most coin flippy.
Yeah, talk about this map a little bit, because this is the site says 160 BPM 7-star map with normal approach rate. What's going on here?
Well, when I said this in the previous match, when I first saw this map in the map pool showcase, I thought it was a Setia map. And that maybe gives the energy of what this map is like. It is alt streams that will sometimes lean into wiggly movements, more complicated movements, that can really beg chain misses if the player is not completely ready for them.
So, in other words, what you're telling me is that this is going to be Rionata versus Marcus, essentially, as the top scorers for this match. Rionata is somebody who is almost famed among tournament players for just how much of a one-trick he actually is. He only plays the hidden modification ever, but he is very, very good at it. Almost like Sawada, but with hidden. Because, for instance, one of the solo scores is a hidden full combo on the Sour Please difficulty of Daisuke in solo, which is, yeah, if he can do that, he can definitely do this map. There is probably going to be some ridiculous combo held from Rionata in this map, and that's what I'm expecting to put OSU True Skill over the edge on Greg, even with a lot of very good hidden players like Coach Vesper and Marcus. I think RG, TFGE, and Defons are also very, very competent at hidden, and specifically at this skill set. I've seen them do very, very well on alt maps and no mod as well, so I think that they'll have a pretty good time with this map, and obviously it is their first pick. They expect that as well.
I agree. Yeah, if Rionata does not pop off like we're sort of building him up to, I think TFGE could provide a nice supporting combo as well. I'm watching those 2 players especially. On the other side, I do definitely think it's a little less clear who is going to carry, maybe either Marcus or Vespirit. We'll just have to see, because this map has a super hard part right at the start, so we'll get the gist of who's comfortable on it and who's not.
So it's looking like Rionata, Defons, Vesprit, and Kirochi are doing the best on this map right now. We already saw breaks from TFG, Coach, Argit, and Marcus. But already chain misses from so many people on OSU True Skill. Rionata missing as well now. And only Coach repeating the chain miss that also TFG and Argit saw on OSU True Skill.
Better performances across the board, though, versus the previous match. As of yet. Ooh, Vespirit combo in that first 500 combo is going to be huge. Greg needs to take advantage of this combo lead they have right now and take it out as far as they can.
Yeah, Vesprit is comboing. Having comboed the easy section now just gets a bunch of free combo. Like, the section does not link together as many long streams as the last one. So this is basically just free score lead for Greg at the moment. Renata and TFG do have some big combos, but they're more than matched by Coach and Marcus, so it is going to need to come from some combo breaks from Greg if OSU wants to take this back. Plenty of map time for that to happen, and Vesprit does find it chasing this.
And a break from Coach and TFGE. I think this is going to sway the lead over to OSU slightly for the moment.
Renata comboing, by the way, the follow point streams here. Kirochi finally finding a miss now. And Renata barely missing at the end of that section. It is not close, or not far away, by the way, for Greg at all. Only 2.8 million team score in the lead. Score V1 is not a lot. And with that combo on Argit, it should go back over soon.
It definitely would have been very helpful if Renata comboed through that section, but he did a lot of work to narrow that lead for sure. Oh, are you not happy about that break?
No, but there's still not a lot of combo on the members of Greg. If OSU can hold through the Ki section, looking mainly at Renata and Defons, they can bring this back regardless if the breaks do come through for Greg, but they're hard-pressed to find any of those breaks right now. All four members holding so far for Greg. Coach finally finding a miss through this harder section of the map.
The lead for Greg did get down to less than 1 million, but now it's growing again. I don't think OSU can rely on misses from Greg. You know, they have to, if they want this lead, they're going to have to take it.
And Renata and Defons are doing a lot of work to try and take that. It's just that Vesprit and Marcus are holding on to great combo as well, and it's offsetting a lot of what would be a lead building for OSU. And with those breaks from Defons and Renata, Vesprit and Marcus holding through, I think, what is probably the hardest stream in the map. That should seal up a breakpoint.
Yeah, they're just gonna... Anything they combo from this point is just cherry on the top of a secured victory. Very important performances from Marcus and Vesprit to keep this breakpoint in their control.
Yeah, both of them up around 16 million score. The high score for OSU was on Renata with the almost 15 million score on him, but the rest of the team...
lobby as well.
Yeah, only 8 misses on that is kind of ridiculous. Single-digit miscount on a map like that is so hard to do because it's so easy to chain miss, but unfortunately the rest of OSU just could not hold the combo as consistently as the higher scores from Greg. It's 2 high scores to 1, and that gives them the point. With that map going in the favor of Greg, I feel like the hidden pool is no longer as quote-unquote much of a toss-up as it was at the start of this match. If Greg has multiple players who can pull out the same type of high score as the hidden main on OSU, then I don't know how much I favor OSU in this match overall, having lost that pick. It might just be an underperformance from one of their members, you never know. But DT5 now the next pick for Greg, and well, you called that out as a pick for them to go to next after DT1.
I did, didn't I? I don't know if they were just confident enough with a win with DT1 that they figured that more DT is good enough for them. And this map is very reliant, if you haven't seen it before, on the combo you get at the start of the map. Because I'd say the first 200, 250 combo is vastly easier than what follows toward the end of the map.
Alright, well, it looks like they've got the rosters mostly ready, so Wada needing to swap around a little bit. I'm expecting mostly similar rosters, I think, with probably Zazrid coming in as the last member for OSU True Skill. This map is, again, a high AR DT pick, so Zazrid should be their last player on this. And then Sawada, Saryi, Marcus, and Kirochi. Minus actually was the last player on Outer Science for Greg in favor of Marcus, so we'll see if that's a swap that they make.
It should be noted that this is the most gimmicky DT map. Like, comparing the two DT maps that have been picked is sort of not valid.
Oh boy.
This one is way more...
Oh boy.
I mean, I would still give Greg the advantage just on the 10.3 aspect of it, but I guess almost similarly to the hidden that we just played, this map is filled with cut bursts, wiggle streams. It is not a typical DT tournament map. So to say that, to predict that we'll have the same players as DT1 is somewhat of a leap, I'd say. And we do have Saryi in, who I don't think played DT1, did they?
Saryi did play DT1, yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Saryi was the bottom score on Greg, but was still a higher score than 3 out of 4 members for OSU True Skill on the last DT pick. And plus, Saryi is Canadian, so there's automatically a speed buff just being from Canada.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. It looks like these are the lineups for both of them. The same lineup on DT for Greg, aside from Minus swapping out for Marcus, and I believe this is the same lineup except for Zazrian swapping out for Argy on OSU.
Well, maybe the more time that goes before the map starts, the more I'll overthink it. Just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, this map is only a minute long anyway, so we'll be seeing fairly soon if the map loads in. Right, IGN internet dying. Okay. Did we get what's happening?
Oh no.
Oh no.
I
got 4 windows loaded in. Okay, the other team is just not wanting to load in. Okay, there we go. So Wada is loaded in. Marcus is loaded in.
400,000 to 0. This is not a good look.
Sorry, he's loaded in. Will Kirochi load in? Kirochi will load in. All right, we've got everyone.
Greg is gaining points.
Now, Greg has just started playing the map. Boy, I think you are far ahead right now.
Not as far as you'd think. My song just started.
Oh, okay.
Again. Looks like IGN got an early break.
Yeah, same for Arg and Defon's now also breaking at about 200 combo in. It's still 3 full combos, even with the break from Marcus for Greg right now.
The meat of the map. Well, IGN, first one to break in the map, now has the highest combo, and there it goes. And there goes Sawada. So again, Greg's gonna win this DT, but they're not stomping it.
No.
OSU True Skill is still there with them.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just like slightly more consistent combo earlier on for Greg, and then at the end of the map, OSU True Skill's high combos from IGN and Defons, who was holding some combo at the end of the map, were being matched until the breaks happened for both teams. So Unfortunate start for OSU Skill gives that over to Greg, and now it is 3-0 in the best of 13. They do have the next pick, so it was not a break point, so OSU Skill can still just make it the single break point lead if they are able to win this pick.
I think it could be argued that Sawada's performance alone in both of these DTs is what has won them the points.
Yeah, I think that's not at all controversial. His score lead up over IGN was 1.1 million score, and the total score difference was 2.2 million. So he alone was half of their score difference on that map,
Wow.
which is quite a lot, actually. Next pick, by the way, is Nomad 3. So we are getting into alt maps now, and I think the last pick for Osu Truskill was also what you would kind of call an alt map, if not just a hidden space stream map. But
definitely,
being in Nomad, it's going to be a lot different. There are lots of 1/6 rhythms in this map, as well as I think a few 1/3s throughout this pick at the same time. So much more rhythmically complex than what we saw in Hidden. So, and players like IGN, by the way, IGN just cannot read Hidden. He was not in on the Hidden map that we saw, but he was their top scorer on this DT pick, which was also essentially a stream and burst map with very high spacing. So I think he will do very well on this pick for OSU Skill.
the crux of this pool is definitely how, like, and even the last few Hippo Cup pools, they lock out players who are not totally comfortable in this style of map. And I think the same can be said about, especially about Pirates Banquet, because of how the stacking unfolds, how some of the 1/6 can almost jump scare the player. It's just a hard map. No other way to put it. And also being a short map, it's going to punish any early breaks. So the first people who break, we'll see how that swings things.
I think that's definitely less of an issue on Score V1 than it usually is on Score V2.
That's
but
true.
Any combo at all on Score V1 is enough to make a very large difference in overall score. So it definitely can. We have Zazreed coming in, I guess, instead of IGN. Okay, so goodbye IGN. And all right, I think these are the rosters now. Very quick swap, thankfully. Thank you, Zazreed, for being quick about it. So we should be able to get going now. Good luck is out from the ref. Sorry, Saika, Coach, and Kirochi gonna try to make this 4-0 for Greg. Ataraxia, TFGE, Defons, and Zazreed gonna try to put a point on the board for Osu Truskill. Zazreed, by the way, I believe is the highest ranked player in this lobby. He is somebody who had a very, very strong performance in the recent 1v1 in Nick's Winter Cup. I expect him to have a pretty good showing on a lot of the higher skill cap maps in this pool. Maybe not some of the speed picks, but maps like this I think he should do very, very well on some of the more high skill cap tournament picks, quote unquote, if that makes sense. You see early breaks coming out from TFGE and Saryi, along with Kirochi and Saika finding some breaks. Ataraxia breaking at the very start of the map as well, so it is 2 full combos to 1, along with a higher supporting combo on the side of Osu Truskill, especially with that miss from Kirochi. Now, there is not a lot of combo over on Greg to try and hold off the combo lead that Osu Truskill has. Ataraxia does drop the highest supporting combo for them, but there is still the FC on Zazreed versus Coach and TFGE with almost 400 combo now, looking very, very strong as well.
This map doesn't get easier.
No, it definitely doesn't. There is actually a very, very difficult finger control pattern, if I'm thinking of the correct pattern in this map.
Was that it?
Yep, that was it. It was the square pattern. Everyone misses, by the way. So 10 million
Except
team
the
score,
Fawns.
essentially, except the Fawns. Wow, he actually hit that? Okay. Yeah, 10 million team score and climbing locked in for OSU True Skill, with the Fawns actually hitting the funny pattern.
So OSU True Skill is still going to have a lot of ground to make up with that first breakpoint they conceded, but they will at least get on the board with their second pick. With a very impressive team performance, I might add. The low score, being 5 million, is very good.
Yeah, 10 million from Zazri, the high score, also much better than any of the scores over on Greg. But yeah, like you said, the low scores for Greg were in the 2 millions, so the lowest score for OSU True Skill is still higher than 3 out of 4 scores on Team Greg. Very, very good showing from them. That's about as dominant of a performance as Greg had on Double Time 1, where the lowest score for Team Greg was still higher than 3 out of 4 scores for OSU True Skill. So a very good pick for them.
I'm not sure if it's just a side effect of Score V1, but it seems like there's been a lot of that today, especially with these super hard pools, where picks on a consistent basis are just more one-sided than what I would expect.
It's definitely the Score V1 effect. A lot of these picks, even with these combos, would not be nearly as one-sided in terms of the sheer score difference if they were playing on Score V1.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, 2 million, especially like a lot of times the maps in this tournament are decided purely by combo, and you can see things like 81% high combo scores beating out 95, 96, 97%
Yeah.
Bad combo good X scores instead, which just does not happen on Score V2 nearly as easily.
Fair enough. Oh. Greg pulling out the do it.
Oh boy. So this is 300 BPM bursts, right? In this map? Is that
Yes.
okay. Yeah, I mean if you win DT1 and Sawada hits the funny burst, then you probably go for free mod 3 and just let him do the same thing here once again.
And though I will say this is a cheesable, if you can't burst 300 BPM, this map is cheesable for the most part. But it's also filled with a bunch of very difficult to aim patterns, back and forth squares. So even if you can cheese the bursts of it, it might not matter if you can't hit those.
Yeah, not to mention like double tapping 300 BPM is still kind of hard. You have to be able to single tap 300 BPM to double tap 300 BPM streams.
Fair enough.
Lots of players can't do that, especially if you are just an alt player in general. You're gonna find it near impossible.
Do it.
I don't think I've ever actually played this map, so now I know where the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 do it sample comes from. Become cultured.
That is assuming that it came from this song.
It does assume that it came from this song. Did it? I don't know. No idea.
I mean, your guess is as good as mine.
Alright.
Someone pointed out the seagulls in the background of this song to me, and I can't believe I didn't hear it until someone pointed it out.
I immediately heard it now. Okay, thank you. Worth noting, by the way, that TFG has the number 3 score on this map with Hidden as a, I believe, full combo. It's obviously 95% accuracy, but let's see if we can recreate something like that score. It was only done 18 hours ago, by the way. So this is a very, very recent score for TFG. Has FC'd in practice. Sawada also has gotten a very high score on Hard Rock on this map, the number 11 score on the map.
That must have been the one that I noticed.
It probably was, because that was also 5 days ago.
Ooh, breaks coming out from Croce and Zazarid. Every break so far traded. Still very even early on.
Rihanna finding a break on the hidden now for OSU True Skill as well. It is basically just Sawada versus TFG, and Sawada misaims. Finds a miss on the Hard Rock. Kirochi does have a pretty good combo on Hard Rock as well, but TFG plus Stefan plus Zazarid have more than enough combo to bring this over to OSU True Skill's side. And TFG still full comboing, 98% accuracy almost. Thank you, Defons.
Combo now. Call. Ooh, Croce not happy with that break.
Kirochi broke?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Oh, no. Yeah, that's a real unfortunate break. TFGE does miss on the square stream, but with Kirochi breaking, that's no combo on Greg. Saika and Vesperit also broke on the square stream, and Defons, Rionata, and Zazarid all held combo through it. Defons does break on the Nomad, but Ryu and Zazarid still have very good combos to keep this lead on the side of OSU True Skill. I don't know that Sawada's combo here is going to matter all that much when TFGE is not far behind. And yeah, that is a high score from TFGE, by the way. But even then, the other good scores on OSU True Skill from Defons and Rionata were the same as Sawada's score. All of them 2.7 million. So a lot of that lead coming from Defons matching Sawada, and then Rionata and TFGE with very high scores compared to the rest of Team Greg. So very nicely done from OSU True Skill. They earn back a breakpoint and now have next pick as well, ready to tie it up.
We have a OSU match.
We have an OSU match on our hands, ladies and gentlemen.
Though that point was not particularly close, I hope that the players from Greg don't kick themselves too much over some of those more unlucky breaks and keep their heads high for this next point. Because if they can break another point, then what OSU True Skill just stole from them won't even matter that much. And this is the Nomad 4. There isn't really one way to describe this map. There's sliders in it, there's 230 BPM jumps and bursts in it, there's 1/3 streams. It's got a little bit of everything.
Not sure how this one goes then. There are players on Greg for sure who would be very good at this type of map. Marcus, Saika, for instance, are very, very good reading players and have the finger control for something like this. Not sure how Kirochi does on this type of map in particular.
Same here.
I think Minus also is very, very good at sort of more gimmicky types of maps or rhythmically challenging types of maps like this. Defons, TFGE, IGN, Zazarid is sort of the squad right now for OSU True Skill. They have been performing very, very well, so I expect at least 3 of those players or 2 of those players in for OSU True Skill.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, there's no need for them to change it, really. It looks like Arg is coming in for OSU True Skill and Minus is in for Greg. Arg makes sense. He is also a very, very strong player. Alright, so we do have lineups locked in. 3rd pick now for OSU True Skill, looking to tie it up after taking back the breakpoint from Greg. It was initially stolen on their 1st pick. This is also one of the not short maps in this pool. This is 1 minute and 54 seconds, which is at least normal length for tournament maps, unlike the 34-second Hidden 2 or the minute-long DT5. It's about the same length as Do It, but with a little bit less free combo in the middle that we saw in Do It.
I was wondering what you meant by normal short. That makes sense.
Yeah, you don't usually see 30-second picks in tournament map pools. That's what we call ridiculously short, or Habib short. Do you see breaks from Arg and Marcus, by the way, early on?
Since Marcus's was later, though, that gives a slight lead to OSU Trusco that's going to be immediately conceded by a Zazreed break. Similarly to the last point, each break is being traded pretty evenly. Ooh, this is going to start going OSU Trusco's way, though. See if they can hold this through the meat of this map. Ooh, the player you were concerned about, Kurochi, last one to break.
Yeah.
From Greg.
TFGE, though, is, I think, still full comboing this map right now.
As well. This part's very hard, though.
He actually hits that?
God. Go off.
What the hell is this guy doing? He finally misses on a stacked double of all things on top of one of the sliders, but that is...
I relate to that.
Yeah, that is that is far more than what was needed to earn the score lead for OSU Trusco. They're going to take this pick and tie it up. He fails out at the end. Oh my god, wait, TFGE failed out at the end.
Hate to see it.
Is that actually the loss because he failed out with the highest score? Oh no.
Failed scores count.
Failed scores count? Okay.
They do.
I was gonna say I've seen team fail losses before, but I wasn't sure if regular failed scores count. Okay.
If that was purely because of nerves, I would not even blame him.
I think it was definitely because of nerves. He went from 1 miss to 11 misses at the end of the map.
Just like that, we have a tie game. TFG, get less stupid misses, please.
Please, dude, actually. Yeah, that was the dumbest miss ever, but also one of the best scores I think we're going to see on that map this weekend. That was sort of ridiculous, holding combo through the hard section for that long. Alright, Greg gonna go with Hidden 2 now. This is the shortest map in the pool. 34 seconds of drain time. Putting it all on RNG for Team Greg. To try and keep up the wins on their picks. This pick is actually unhinged. I cannot believe this pick. Where does the difficulty in this map come from, by the way? Because I took a quick look at this before, and it just looks like a normal jump map. It's AR3. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, okay, it's AR3. Never mind then.
The difficulty in this map is that it is, in essence, easy hidden.
Yeah.
So if players have never touched easy hidden, it will be very hard. There are no easy prodigies, after all.
No, there are no easy prodigies. You are right about that. It is, you are only good at easy through practice with the regular approach rate associated with easy instead of anything else. So, Ataraxia, TFGE, Rionata, and Zazuri are going to try to take this point. Saika, Vesprit, Coach, and Kirochi, though, I think are a very scary roster on something that is approach rate 3. Saika, in particular, I know is very, very good at low approach rate maps, and I think better than Rionata at low approach rate hidden. I don't know Rionata to actually be an easy player, but I have seen Saika play some easy hidden before.
I definitely think Rionata survives on this. and depending on how the rest of the lobby does, survival may just be enough. Because this is a map where one FC can just win the point. But if there are no FCs...
Yeah. Alright, last minute swap. Defon's coming in for OSU True Skill in favor of, I think, Zazreed.
I think that was the swap as well. Well, blink and you'll miss it.
Look, I can't see anything anyway, alright? There's no missing anything. I can't see what's going on in the map right now. I do see misses from Defon's, Coach, Kirochi, TFG, and Ataraxia, though. Vesprit also finding a miss, Rionata finding a miss. Psycho the only one with a full combo left up.
Oh, Psycho breaks. Defon's is going to carry this home.
Ataraxia now carrying with the 70 combo coming in hot for OSU True Skill. The 100 combo mark has been reached by Ataraxia. He finds the spinner at the end too, and that is a whopping 200,000 score lead for OSU True Skill. Very well done from them to win that pick.
I wonder how similar their scoreline would be on V2.
I think
it might just be the same amount of points.
I think it would be the same amount. I think it would be more points, actually. The accuracy for Coach and Vesprit is just not there, even compared to the B ranks from Rionata and Defon's. What a map! What a map! Thank you, Greg, for the experience. We're 4-3 now for OSU True Skill after the break point. We are going to have some... I feel like probably more alt-based or rhythmically challenging maps picked up by OSU True Skill, especially with the wins on Nomad 3, Nomad 4. Maybe Nomad 5 or 6 would be the next pick for them. I could definitely see them going with a Nomad alt pick once again after the win on Nomad 3.
I don't know if Nomad 5 would be the move. I'm not sure that OSU True Skill would stack up in the speed aim department. I mean, it could be a toss-up, but I think they can afford to pick up maps that are more confident in toss-ups at this point.
Definitely fair enough. I don't think that they do very well on Hidden 1, given that it is just a straight-up aim map, I'm pretty sure, with that star rating.
I would say either a Hard Rock 2 or a Free Mod 2 maybe coming up next.
Another Polka Dot Stingray map could definitely do them well in Hard Rock. Yeah, it's also over 4.5 minutes long, so definitely not a just RNG toss-up, if it is a toss-up at all.
No, Hard Rock 2 is the ultimate consistency map. There is so much... Oh, wow. It is the Nomad 5. You were correct.
Yeah, I think the snap aim for a lot of these players is going to be fine. I mean, what we saw in Nomad 4 as well with TFGE, it was not a flow aim map in general. It was much more slider focused, much more snap focused, especially near the end. So we'll see how it goes on this one. It's definitely a different kind of map for sure from Nomad 4 and Nomad 3, but I feel like they should be comfortable enough on the style of mapping, given how they have done in other tournaments as well.
Fair enough. And this is 4 straight points from them, right? After Greg opened up 3-0.
Yeah, this has been 4 straight points for OSU True Skill. They started with Pirates Banquet on their own pick, into Do It, into After Image, and then into the Easy Hidden map. It looks like the lineups are in. Sawada coming in for this one for Greg definitely speaks to the type of map that this is. TFG is saying he can't play this. Oh boy. Zazri? Defons? Help? Minus Coach Kirochi also in for Greg now. Argy and TFG are going to be joining Zazri and Defons for OSU True Skill.
And here we go.
Here we go. Early break from Coach on one of the snap aim jumps. Minus also missing alongside Sawada. TFG missing on the speed aim as well on some of the back and forth 1-2 jumps. The rest of OSU skill is holding on to full combos right now. Defons finally misses after the slow section, but Zazri and Argy right now are popping off. Argy with 99% full combo.
I greatly underestimated them on this map as of yet.
This is still 2 full combos for OSU True Skill. I think this is kind of one. Zazri does finally find a miss, but Argy is still holding on to the 99% FC, not looking uncomfortable in the slightest, but Sawada and Minus are very close behind. Sawada finally misses, Argy finally misses, Minus is holding on to combo, but Defons is backing up OSU True Skill, and TFGE is matching Kirochi, so this should remain on their side despite only being a 6 million score lead.
This is going to be 5 straight points for OSU True Skill. And this, Greg's... Was this... No, this was True Skill's pick.
This was OSU True Skill's pick, yes.
Okay. They win it handily.
Yeah, that is...
They know what they're good at.
They definitely do. That is 11 million points in their favor. Defons, by the way, sort of going under the radar with Argy and TFGE holding onto a lot of combo early, but top scored that lobby with 8.5 million score and the highest combo in the lobby as well. No misses for Zazri and some unfortunate slider breaks, but all around very, very good scores for OSU True Skill. Even the lowest score on their team was higher than any of the scores on Team Greg, so just a win across the board for them. So with all of the wins on the more sort of gimmicky maps, where does Greg go from here? What types of maps do they turn to, or what picks would sort of fit them a little bit better than what's been going on so far?
I think they might want to go with the what maybe the most straightforward mechanics heavy map, Nomad 2 maybe. Because even though that map isn't super stamina intense, it's so heavy on the aim front that it may benefit the more mechanics willing players.
That's fair enough. Could also see, just because it's double time, them picking DT3 instead. Children Record also, I know, is a standard enough type of map in Hard Rock. I know that's not just a gimmick map like a lot of the other maps in this pool are, so they could end up going with something like that. I feel like a return to standard maps is a little bit needed from Greg, though. After 5 picks lost, just go back to a basic skill set that you know you are good at. But it's going to be Hard Rock 2, actually. Another sort of low BPM Polka Dot Stingray map now.
I don't know where this pick will go, because this is one of the most carryable maps in the pool. And if you're not carrying it, you're breaking every 300 combo, because it's just hard. There are extreme spacing shifts all throughout this map. where if you are not super proficient on hard rock, they will catch you out. There was a part in the previous match where a section that me, Chillier, and T1G didn't even really take note of, and suddenly 5 people were just breaking in the same little combo section.
Wow.
So that's just the nature of this map.
Yeah, hopefully this pick works out for Greg. If they do lose this, by the way, it will be match point for OSU True Skill. They will be at 6 points, having been won for them in this match, and poised to take the next one as well if they do win this. They have so much momentum right now with 5 points in a row.
Yeah.
And this is a map that we were talking about as maybe the next pick for OSU True Skill as well. So I think a toss-up map for Greg right now. Saryi minus Saika and Kirochi gonna try to go in for this one. Do well on this pick against IGN, Zazreed, and Defons. I almost said TFG. He's been in for so many maps in a row now. But it is IGN in for TFG, and I think on the Hard Rock alt map that makes a lot of sense.
Admittedly, though, it's just so hard to predict how some of these gimmicky, scuffed maps will go that I almost don't even want to try.
Yeah.
I mean, I brought up a few maps, but I have very little confidence in what I'm saying actually coming to fruition.
So do I, to be honest. Score v1 in any tournament is just so tough to predict. And any combo at all can change the entire way that the map goes. It's so important to keep tracking that throughout all of these maps. It's very difficult to actually predict where score goes as well, because AC just does not matter whatsoever. So even if someone is comfortable on it, if they slider break every 500 combo and still get an S rank with 98 AC, it does not matter. Alright, we are into it now. Let's see how this goes for Greg. They are looking to try and reverse some of the momentum that OSU True Skill has built up with 5 wins in a row on the last 5 maps.
I don't have a horse in this race, but I do hope that Greg's mental is doing okay, because no matter what the context is, losing 5 points in a row can be really draining.
You see early breaks for Kirochi and IGN alongside Defons now finding a break on OSU True Skill. Very, very early on into the map. Again, this is, I think, the longest map in the map pool. 4 minutes and 41 seconds of drain time. We do see another miss come through for Zazreed and for Saika and Kirochi as well. So 1 full combo to 2 right now.
Ooh, breaks from Saika and Marcus are going to sway the lead for the moment. And there goes Swain right back with Zazreed and IGN. This lead's not moving right now, actually. The combos are almost identical.
Yeah, they're basically completely the same combos. Just a very, very slight combo lead for OSU True Skill. But as long as Argy and Minus keep on full comboing together, the lead really isn't going to shift around all that much. Defons and Kirochi matching each other as well. Means that it's really not going to change all that much, but Argy finds a miss, and Minus is continuing to FC. Defons also misses now, so no high combos whatsoever for OSU True Skill.
Ooh, a break from Minus, though.
And Kirochi right afterwards. Marcus also breaks, didn't have a very high combo, but IGN, Defons, and Argy are now going to try to bring some of this back over. I think this is just going to be a misfest all over the place, though, as we see Argy find a miss, Defons holding on to combo, misses for Minus and Saika as well. So this is definitely a little bit tough to call either way right now. The lead is just non-existent. It is only 300k, so it may as well be the exact same score for both teams.
We do a little bit of chain missing.
We do a little bit of chain missing, for sure.
I'm very glad I didn't comment on Minus's act, because he was rocking 99 for a good while, and as soon as I thought it, he missed. So I'm glad I don't have that on my hands.
Honestly, I take a little bit of Schadenfreude in calling out people's accuracy and seeing them immediately chain miss. I gotta confess. Zazrid actually has a pretty good combo right now. That's what's bringing the score lead over to Osu True Skill. It's not at all anything decisive, but it is
True, I didn't
a
even
score
notice
lead.
it was shifting through the slow part.
And Psycho finds a miss now for Greg, but Zazrid and Defon's miss right afterwards, so combo lead actually over to Greg, despite their highest combo having missed, because there's just nothing to speak of on the side of Osu True Skill right now. Kirochi, with the highest combo at 300, though, doesn't bode very well for how fast this score lead is going to transition back to Greg's side. And again, both teams are basically completely tied. 1.4 million team score is nothing, so
Yeah.
it's gonna come down to the ending. Last quarter of the map starting up now.
And the last quarter is very, very hard. There's no combo on Greg.
Everyone,
There's no combo anywhere.
all 8 players miss. Everybody misses.
It's a performance like this that really makes Kriller's and Flask's performance on this map shine. They both got almost 40 million on their own. Having a player like that for a map like this basically breaks the whole lobby.
Yeah, I mean, neither of these teams are even at 40 million team score in the first place. It is a score 10 times the highest score in this lobby right now. So just a complete solo carry performance if you are able to get that. And it looks like, by the way, the last quarter of this map is going to go over to Osu True Skill, the more consistent combo coming out of Zazrid and Arge, and the last quarter of the map is going to bring it over to their side. Defon's as well, getting close to 200 combo now, and that's not a lot, but Greg is just unable to hold 150 plus combo. Kirochi, the only one to have done so within the last quarter of the map now. And that is going to decide the pick. Now suddenly 5 to 6 million team score in the favor of Osu True Skill, almost out of nowhere.
That's certainly a more firm lead than what I thought this map was going to end with.
Yeah,
though much more consistent act across the board for Osu True Skill. So it's, I mean, in hindsight, it does make sense that they had a more consistent performance. Given they don't have any scores that are almost bordering on B ranks. Yeah,
unfortunately, the max combo for Marcus is just not there, or for Saika in this lobby. Just too high of a miscount for Saika throughout the last quarter of the map. You can see the performance graphs drop down for Team Greg. And Osu True Skill now is on their 6th win in a row in this match.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, that is sort of ridiculous. Poised to take match point and just 7 points in a row win the match if they can win this next pick. I am probably looking at something like No Mod 6 for them, even if it's not, your typical gimmick-focused No Mod 6, even if it is a little bit higher BPM. I don't think any of the remaining Hard Rocks, given that only Hard Rock 1 is around, is actually a good pick for them, even with somebody like IGN. I think he's a little bit skill-capped on a map that is that high of star rating, frankly, especially if it's just an aim map. The remaining free mod is just a tech map, and I have no idea how that goes for Night Raid with a dragon. We do see No Mod 6 get picked, so let's see if I called it correctly. For Osu True Skill's sake, I hope I did, but if Greg can pull this win back after losing 6 picks in a row, that would be incredibly impressive.
It's just necessary for what they have to do, and you've got your hand on the pulse of this match, by the way. You predicted a bunch of things, right?
I know the players. I know the players very well on both of these teams. I have seen them around quite a lot, so it makes a lot of sense what they have been picking so far. And I think that this map is probably the best pick for Osu True Skill, but I also think that because of the fact that it is not nearly as flow aim focused or as focused on low BPM snap aim, quote unquote, with a similar pick to Nomad 5, that it's much more winnable for Greg than the last few picks in a row have been.
Mm-hmm.
All right, OSU True Skill gonna try to close it out cleanly. 7 wins in a row with this map. Nomad 6. They are ready to go, sending out the good luck, have funs. TFG, IGN, Argan, Defons in for this one, up against Vesprit minus Saika and Kirochi from Greg. Gonna try to stop the bleeding and pull themselves back into this match and out of the grave.
Quite literally do or die.
Yeah, this is losers bracket as well, so it is quite literally out of the grave that they have just about fallen into. Almost the end of their tournament run if they do lose here, but they should be ready to go for this map. IGN ready to go back to Hard Rock 2, apparently.
I had to panic as well for that one.
Yep. Thank you, tournament client.
Defons with the second break after Kirochi, but Kirochi's break was so early it doesn't matter as much.
No, it definitely does not matter as much. He's only 20-30 combo away from an FC, but minus Vesprit, Kirochi, IGN, and TFG, and Arya all break at the same time. Defons also breaks. Saika is the only player to hold on to the combo. Every other player in the lobby having broken on the exact same pattern, and Saika does finally follow suit as well. It is barely a combo lead for Kirochi right now, with almost 200 combo after the hard section of the map.
This map kinda hard.
This map kinda hard. Yeah, the players kind of all missed at the same time on the same thing, but it was very slightly favored towards Greg because Kirochi held on for a while and Saika held on for a while, so 2 million team score in their favor. Definitely still winnable for OSU True Skill if they can combo the hard part here. Not happening.
There's no combo on True Skill. There's no combo anywhere, but that only benefits Greg.
Yeah, their score is not going to go down if they stop playing, so I think this is just locked in for Greg at this point with 0 combo anywhere. Hopefully I didn't just curse it for them, but anytime that Greg has missed, OSU True Skill has basically 4-way reset, so... and that is once more a 4-way reset for OSU True Skill. Nobody can hit anything in this map, so it's just gonna go over to Greg at the end.
The fact that Tenkana was able to squeak out a 700 combo through some of the hardest parts of this map just looks even more insane now.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculously impressive. Very, very good scores, by the way, across the board for Greg. Even their lowest scores on Minus and Vesprit were still the same as IGN's, which was the second highest score on OSU True Skill. Very, very impressive scores across the board for Greg, even despite the 4-way B rank.
These maps become very scary when you do not have that solo carry. But these teams are doing fine without him for the most part. With the exception of a few plays such as TFG on Do It, Do It.
Yeah, or
really
TFG on Afterimage also on that map.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a big momentum shift, by the way. Now 6-4 in Greg's still in OSU True Skill's favor, but Greg winning that point after losing 6 in a row is very, very big. They have the next point as well. If they can win this pick, it forces the last pick out of OSU True Skill. And yes, they have last pick right before tiebreaker if it does come down to it, and they can win off of that last pick. But If you just lost this one and you were already on match point, where do you go from here? What is the next map that you even pick, or that you are confident on? Because I'm not sure that exists for OSU True Skill anymore.
Yeah, we've entered dire straits territory where any very firm strategy that any team came up with before the match started has kind of been used up, and they're down to the maps that they were maybe secretly hoping they didn't have to bother with.
Yeah.
But now they have no other choice. And Greg resorting to the DT that helped them make their early lead. But I can understand why they did not pick this one for so long, because this one, this DT is explicitly old style, and is frankly a bit easier than the rest of the DTs that have been played. So this is probably the most contestable map for OSU True Skill to steal.
Yeah, you say old style. This map's just old. It's from 2012, so this is actually just an old map.
Fair point.
Yeah, I mean, a map like this, especially AR8 DT, you don't have the advantage of high AR capability that you might have had on the other two double time picks that have already gone through. Players who may have struggled a little bit with that high approach rate will no longer have to do so instead, and yeah, OSU True Skill has been very, very good on a lot of the most gimmick-focused maps in this pool, on a lot of the trickiest maps in this pool. So if this map does sort of repeat that type of patterning, we will see a very close map between the two teams.
Purely looking at the leaderboards of each of these maps, DT1 Outer Science has 5 hidden double time scores at the top of the leaderboard. Soul Boy, which was the second DT played, has 3 hidden double time scores at the top of the leaderboard. This map, Underworld, has 14. So if that's an indicator of this map being easier than the other two, or rather if it's not an indicator, then I don't know what is.
Yeah, and then there's also multiple players from both of these teams, by the way, who have FCs on this map. Rionata has a hidden double time FC on this map, but is not going in, interestingly enough. It was set a year and a half ago at this point, so he may just not remember the map. And he also is, as I said earlier, an explicit hidden one trick. Not being able to take hidden on a map like this is actually does hurt him. Even though it is only AR8 DT, but Minus and Sawada also have double time FCs on this map.
We'll have to wait to see if that was a Banjo miss on Minus's part.
Yeah, well, actually, 3 of the players who are in on this map for Greg have double time FCs on the leaderboard. Kiroshi also has an FC on this map in solo.
Okay. Well, Greg, not off to a super hot start. 2 of those FCs are not currently FCing. Unless they're just using the Apraxia method of the early miss to not to prevent further ones.
Definitely a viable method when you are nervous on a map like this, especially at the end of a map when it is do or die for the tournament run. Ataraxia, IGN, Argen, and Defons, though, still holding on to the 4-way. And that is 3 FCs dropped on OSU True Skill side. Oh, wow.
The Apraxia method. Minus and Sawada survived those squares.
And Minus does break, though, on the burst afterwards. It is Ataraxia on the full combo versus Sawada with a not quite full combo, but very, very high still. Better supporting combos for Greg, but if the FC can be held by Ataraxia, it might not matter.
This is scary territory. Sawada breaks!
And Ataraxia holds on!
Over really fast.
Halfway through the map, and there's just no combo on Greg's side. IGN and Defons are matching the combo from Minus. Both of them, by themselves, are matching it. And then you have the FC from Ataraxia as well. This is looking very, very good for OSU True Skill. Disaster has to strike, and there it is. Ataraxia finding a break. Defons is now the only combo on OSU True Skill's side, and Greg has found a way back into the match with Ataraxia finding that miss, but it's going to have to come with some combo from their side as well.
The lead is almost within 1 million. Greg needs to hold, and Sawada and Minus both miss.
Defons now with the highest combo in the lobby, backed up by Arga and IGN, who are matching the combos from Saika and Kirochi, is going to be able to extend this lead. It is close to that 2.5, 3 million mark now. IGN does find a miss, but Defons with this high combo should be enough to carry OSU True Skill into the victory and into the next round of the losers bracket.
Man, Greg really had a chance here, and they just let it slip through their fingers. This is why they saved this DT though. With the 2 bans that OSU True Skill made, they banned out all of the comfortable DTs.
Yeah, that is a very, very good bans from OSU True Skill. Very, very strong performance from them throughout the middle of that match as well. 6 points in a row from OSU True Skill is a win streak that cannot be understated. That is a very, very strong string of wins. And Greg, unfortunately, just was not able to find a way back into the match until the last pick from OSU True Skill came out on No Mod 6, and unfortunately fumbled the win on the double time map, with Ataraxia finding a very, very strong combo early on and Defons comboing through the end to hold it together for the team.
A very impressive win from a team that I feel like has had impressive wins throughout the tournament, honestly.
Yeah, I think a lot of people sort of underestimate OSU True Skill because they are a mid-seed team. They are seed 25 by rank through the tournament, but these are some players who are very, very strong tournament players in general. IGN, Zazreed, and TFG, all OWC players for Team Chile. Arge is the only good OSU player in San Marino, and the rest of their team as well, even with Serpy not here, Ryunata, Defons, and Ataraxia, all very, very strong players on the maps in which they go in for. So very, very strong lineup for OSU True Skill, and I think they are going to have a pretty strong showing against their next opponent, which is Wolf over Sleeps. What a matchup, actually. The lineup for Wolf over Sleeps is Walfred, Goose Fedora, Rexies, Shane Leung, James Naismith, Ansenth, Fuma, and Kitty. Another team, honestly, with a lot of players who are who used to be sandbaggers in rank restricted and are now just playing open rank tournaments. Very, very good at some of the more tricky maps that you see in tournament pools. I'm excited to see how that match goes.
And if you were here earlier, you would know that Wolf over Sleeps is coming off of a gutsy tiebreaker performance to win their own match against a very impressive team in its own, Colon 3. So I agree, they're not to be underestimated. If I'm not commenting that match, I would definitely go out of my way to watch it, because it should be a good one.
So good luck to both of those teams in the next losers bracket matchup. The next match that we have for you all going on in general is going to be at 15 UTC tomorrow, and that is OSU True Skill versus Wolf over Sleeps. We will have 8 Angry Men versus 8 Cute Boys going on at 20 UTC tomorrow. Good luck to Woey in that match also. The last match the match that was meant to be. And last match of the weekend is going to be Monday at 16 UTC. So, yeah, enjoy trying to watch a Monday match. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Congrats again to OSU True Skill. Good luck to Greg in any of their future tournaments. Unfortunately, they are eliminated here. Thank you to everybody watching. Thank you to Woey for casting alongside me for Boolin on stream. We will see you next time.